Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing more Vintage Cube Draft. Haven't really been able to play this much over the past couple weeks. I was playing a lot of Standard trying to prepare for RC Minneapolis, where I tragically lost my win-in to day 2. Very sad, and I'm starting to get used to doing that, so maybe says a lot about me as a Magic player. So anyway, we're going to start doing some Vintage Cube Draft, and they've added Ugin, Eye of the Storms, really powerful planeswalker top end in like a ramp deck, or maybe you could like cheat it out somehow. I'm not sure how. I mean, it's a planeswalker, so you can't cheat it out with like the creature stuff. But anyway, obviously, very, very strong card. I see Fetch Land and Arid Mesa. There's True Name Nemesis, which is a fine card. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take Reanimate, because you either end up in like the mono black all in Reanimator deck with Entomb and crazy stuff, and then it's kind of like a speedrun trophy deck, or you could just play it as like a generic mid-rangey card and just play it in your black mid-range deck, and it's like totally serviceable. So now we have some choices. There's nothing really for like the mono black deck. I mean, technically you could take Vaultborn Tyrant, as it's like a really good reanimation target on like turn 2 or whatever. So that's pretty strong. We could also go for more of like a black-red aggro sort of feel and take Broadside Bombardiers. This card's also quite strong. Plus, if you reanimate something big and then you fling, like say you reanimate Vaultborn Tyrant and then you have Broadside Bombardiers, that's just ridiculous, because you like dome them for 9 and then you get you do all those cool things. So I think Broadside Bombardiers is a little bit more flexible enough that I want to take it here. There's also like Mana Leak Teferi. Metamorphosis Fanatic is also a pretty cool card, but yeah, I think Broadside Bombardiers is very strong. Okay, so now we could, if we're going to be black-red, I mean, Bloodtithe Harvester is not an embarrassing card. In fact, it's not bad at all, because the blood token helps discard stuff that you can reanimate, and the body's like fine, 2 mana 3/2, aggressive enough. But I think enough decks don't want it that we're just happy taking like a Nethergoyf or maybe a Skull Clamp, Glorybringer, Grim Monolith if we want to go a little bigger, but I'm not sure that's what we want to do right now. You could also say City of Traders, play like a turn 2 Broadside Bombardiers. So I think I'm a little torn here between Nethergoyf and Skull Clamp. Both are very strong, aggressive plays. I think Skull Clamp has higher upside. Like, we can get other cheap 1-mana threats, but I mean, Skull Clamp is just broken. So yeah, let's go ahead and take that. Okay, now we get, there's the Ether Spark, Goblin Rabblemaster to go alongside our Skull Clamp, which is nice. There is Lethal Scheme. I want to try this card. It keeps coming around, and I never quite have the right deck for it, but if you're like in a black creature heavy deck, this thing just seems insane. Like, you could play this for free, and then you can have 4 creatures connive and blow up a creature or planeswalker. Instant speed. Yeah, that sounds all very nice. And theoretically good if, we have the Rabblemaster and then we do Lethal Scheme stuff. So what do I want to take here? I think I just will take the Rabblemaster, mainly because it goes well with the Skull Clamp, and then we're going for this sort of like aggressive strategy. We do need some cheaper plays, but yeah, Rabblemaster does seem pretty good. Rip Fractured Identity, which in a previous iteration of the cube would have been like, oh, we're obviously slamming that, we're pivoting, but I don't know, nowadays you could just do so many more broken things at like a cheaper mana cost that you're more valued staying lower on the curve, I think, and maybe having 1 or 2 top end pieces. Like Elspeth. Elspeth is a pretty cool card for top end, but probably not for what we're doing. I think I'm just going to take a Blazemire Verge, just start taking some fixing for our cards. And see, this is what I was talking about. So we're probably not going to end up in that all-in black Reanimator deck, and then you reanimate an Arcana Cruelty on turn 2 or 1 or whatever. This, but you can reanimate like a Broadside Bombardiers. That's powerful. That's a totally powerful play. And then Broadside Bombardiers is something you can just cast normally. So yeah, I think this is looking pretty good so far. So we are going to go ahead and take that. See, same thing with Treachery. Treachery, Fractured Identity, these like 5-mana plays that in previous cube iterations are like slam dunk picks, like, oh, I'm just playing the blue mid-range control deck, and then I just like wreck people, but it's just not like that. It's just not like that nowadays. I could take, what do I want here? I do need some removal. So there's a Galvanic Blast and a Chainsaw. Chainsaw's kind of unimpressive. I mean, it's okay with like the Skull Clamp thing that we're doing, but Dark Ritual helps us go a little faster. I could also take Stomping Ground in the case that we end up in some sort of Jund deck. That's probably just like maybe a little bit of personal preference, but I think the other options are just kind of weak there. And now I'm kind of glad we took that, because now I can take either Bloodbraid Challenger or Pest Infestation. I think both of these cards are very strong. Because with the Pest Infestation, it's like 3 mana, make 2 bodies, which are good with Skull Clamp, and then you blow up an artifact or enchantment, which is pretty nice. Bloodbraid Challenger is just also pretty nuts. So, I mean, 5 mana, 4/3 Cascade Haste, and then it just keeps coming back from the graveyard. So that's also really good. Concealing Curtains is also fine. I think I'm going to take the Pest Infestation, mainly because of its interaction with Skull Clamp, but that one was really close. Okay, so now we have, I think, the choice between Ghost Vacuum as generic graveyard hate and Unearth. So Unearth, again, it's another combo with like our Broadside Bombardiers or Goblin Rabblemaster, and if we end up in like this kind of like Jund, almost like Jund Sagavan type Boomer Jund kind of situation here, and we end up with, you know, good cheap threats, like maybe that Nethergoyf comes around, maybe you get Ragavan, I don't know. I'm feeling the Unearth. I'm not sure if it's good, but we'll see. Okay, now I think I just take a Black Cleave Cliffs to help with the fixing. There is a Grave Titan, but again, we can get other top end pieces, and that's totally fine. And we're looking to be a little cheaper, lower to the ground, get Skull Clamp value, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think Black Cleave Cliffs is totally acceptable here. Our fixing's looking pretty nice. Okay, I think I will take Metamorphosis Fanatic, and we can kind of like, you know, in the mid game we can high roll this if it's on the top of our deck, and then like reanimate a Broadside Bombardiers. I keep coming out to Broadside Bombardiers. I think I have not emphasized how completely broken this card is. Like, imagine you play a Metamorphosis Fanatic, and then you fling it at their face for 8 damage. That's a lot of damage. I'm going to take the Metamorphosis Fanatic. Whoa, we wield Nethergoyf and Glorybringer. Those are good cards. Those are good cards. I guess we just stick with the plan? Go cheaper? Yeah, let's go cheaper there. Okay, I think this is the Lethal Scheme deck. Here we go. I think this is actually going to be good in this deck. And we're leaning more black. Black seems to be pretty open. We can splash these red cards, maybe the Pest Infestation, and we're just going to have all these cheap threats, and then the Lethal Scheme going to be free. It's going to be kind of insane. Okay, we could take either a Cankerbloom or a Mind Collapse here. How are we doing on removal? We don't really have too much. I guess we'll take the Mind Collapse. Okay, we get the Chainsaw for free. You love to see it. And Shadow Spear's like a sideboard card, I think. Although, now that I have 2 1-mana artifacts, Urza Saga goes a little bit up in my pick order. So we'll keep that in mind. And yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. We can obviously use some more creatures. All right, let's see what we get. Okay, so there's a Grief. Grief is pretty great, goes well with everything that we're doing. However, there's also Entomb. Entomb is just an absolutely insane card, and it will, when I take this, I think it will recontextualize the entire deck that we're going for. Mainly because we have Reanimate, and now we can just prioritize like Reanimator package spells. So it's like that deck that I was referring to at the beginning, like this all in mono black sort of reanimator. Like I guess we're not really going to be in that because we already have some pretty good red cards and some decent fixing, and we've already gone through a whole pack. So I don't know if we'll quite get there, but like in reanimator decks, you need three pieces. You need the big fatties, you need the ways to get the big fatties in the graveyard, and then you need ways to get them out. This is two of those because it takes your big fatty and puts it in the graveyard from your deck. Kind of insane. So yeah, we're going to take that here, and then we're going to really prioritize more like big reanimator stuffs. Unfortunately, this pack did not really deliver on that. This pack's actually not super great for us. I think the Carnage Interpreter could be okay here. We have a lot of... like, we don't have too much card advantage, so we will probably empty our hand relatively quickly, and then this thing can kind of get turned on in that sense. It's definitely not the best deck for it, but alternatively, like what? We take Caustic Bronco. I think the problem with Caustic Bronco is if we are going to be doing this whole Entomb Reanimate nonsense, we're going to want some giant spells. And those giant spells hurt us a lot. And it's not necessarily guaranteed we'll be able to get the Saddle 3 going. And also, this card's a little weaker and people might not want it. I think I will take the Carnage Interpreter here. I'm not like 100% sold on it. Okay, now there's Lily, Pyrokinesis, Palantir. I think I just take a Blood Crypt here, just help with the fixing. Because if we are gonna, I mean, Broadside Barbadeer is still a good card. Like, we don't have to be mono black. Obviously, we could splash that. So yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and really shore up the fixing there. Okay, there's Exhume. So this is exactly what I was talking about. And this pack actually has a lot of decent cards that we would be totally happy playing. So maybe you can wheel one. We have the Mogda, Preacher of the Schism, Braid, Grease Wrench Goblet. It's more like black-red, kind of mid-rangey cards, which are totally fine. But yeah, we're really set up now to do like big dumb things. So I think we've found a situation where we will take a big dumb thing over a reasonable 2-mana play, because you could take Karizev, you could take Sorin, you could take Scrapwork Mud. Scrapwork Mud actually is not bad because it kind of does everything. It's like a cheap play that's defensive, gets you some card selection, and puts your boys in the yard. It's like a milkshake. Anyway, so we're going to go... I think we're just going to go Torsen here. I think this card is really powerful because, you Entomb Reanimator or whatever, and it just draws you like... It's a huge body, 7/7, and then it draws you like 6 or 7 cards, and then it dies, and it makes a bunch of 1/1s. How cool is that? And we could probably just wheel one of these things. Faithless Looting would also be pretty good, but I think we'll go ahead and take that. Well, there's the big Granddaddy Griselbrand, so I think we just go ahead and slam that. Otherwise, there's Infernal Grasp, Overgrown Tomb to help with the green fixing if we really want to play this Pest Infestation, which, we might. Amped Raptor is pretty cool, but, I mean, there's a lot of non-hits. But it'd be cool to like go Amped Raptor into Reanimate, and I don't know, that's kind of cool. But on average, it's gonna be like a 2-mana 2/1 first striker, which is not really where you want to be. So yeah, I think we just go ahead and take Griselbrand. So we really now do not need to prioritize the big threats anymore. So for example, you could take like a Myr Battlesphere, which is great card to Reanimate, but we're totally fine. We have Torsten and Griselbrand. We don't really need to worry too much about that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and take either one of these lands or the Bitter Triumph. I think I'm going to take the Bitter Triumph because it keeps us alive, and it also helps us do the thing because as additional cost, you discard a card, so you can discard one of your big fatties. So yeah, I like that. Okay. Oh, Recurring Nightmare. I think this is a Recurring Nightmare deck. So Normally in like the all-in Reanimator deck, you don't have that many like cheaper creatures. And I mean, granted, we don't have too many with the Nethergoyf and like the Rabblemaster. Will be, we have cheap plays, and the Rabblemaster makes tokens. You could sacrifice those tokens, and you can bring back a Griselbrand or a Torsten. And yeah, that actually does seem pretty good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're not wheeling any from this pack, but obviously we would like the Generous Plunderer as well. But yeah, I think this is a good recurring Nightmare deck. Okay, so now I think we just take the Proving Ground here just to have like perfect Jund fixing essentially, and then we can play this Pest Infestation for free. There's also Witherbloom Apprentice if we wanted to try to spec on it and try to find that other card that combos with it that I can't remember the name of at this exact moment, but I don't know, that might not be necessary, and we only have one piece of green fixing, so I'll just take another one over not much else. Okay, so we wield the Caustic Bronco, which, I mean, I'm no coward. Are you a coward? I didn't think so. Let's take this. Okay, Liliana is totally fine. Pyrokinesis would also be good, but I think Lily's just generically better. Oh my god, we wield all the black-red mid-range cards. This is so good. So I have to decide what I want. I think we have enough 3-drops, so I don't want Preacher. Fire Blast a little too aggressive for what we're doing. We're more mid-rangey. It's either Grease Wrench Goblin or Magda. They're both pretty good. I'm going to take Magda. I feel like oh my goodness. Okay, we are in the right archetype. Collective Brutality is not bad, but I think because we want more creatures for the recurring Nightmare, I'll take the Scrapwork Mutt because it sort of plays every role that we're looking for here. Oh my goodness. I think we're good on removals, so we'll just make this Pest Infestation completely free. Oh, and last pick Bayou. Okay, we are in the right archetype, that's for sure. Okay, what do we have here? So there's Cut Down, Necromancy, Firebolt, Bloodstained Mire are the cards that I am looking at the most. Lutri is it's like fine. I don't know. You don't need to prioritize it. Okay, so do we want the really good piece of fixing with the Bloodstained Mire, like the absolute perfect fetch land? Or do we want Necromancy? So we already have 3 pieces of reanimation, really 4 with the Metamorphosis Fanatic. I think we can afford to just make our mana like extraordinary. And Necromancy's like fine, but you don't, I don't know, you don't, there's better ones, right? Obviously. And we have the better ones. We have Reanimate, we have Exhume. So we're just kind of looking, if this were like an Animate Dead, I think I would take Animate Dead. But given where we're at, I think Bloodstained Mire is fine. Cut Down and Firebolt are also pretty good. We're a little bit lacking on the cheap removal, but I don't know. I think we're doing okay here. Okay, now this is an interesting pick. So, well, there's Dismember as like generic cheap removal, but again, I think we'll be okay with that. I think the real question though is Troll of Khazad-dûm versus Pyrogoyf. Pyrogoyf is kind of nuts. And we also have the Nethergoyf to combo with it as well. But I think Troll of Khazad-dûm, it just goes a little bit better with our strategy because we needed our land drops, because I think with a lot of your other, well, it's even good in like, it's good in all variations of the, the Reanimator deck, but especially with this one, you really want to hit like land 3 because you need to play like your Recurring Nightmare or your Rabblemaster or whatever. Pyrogoyf is like an insane magic card, but turn 1 Troll, turn 2 Reanimate, that's a viable strategy and it's very strong. Got banned in Legacy, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and take Troll. Okay, so now what? Okay, we have a few choices. We have Atraxa as an insane Reanimator target. We have Etali as another insane Reanimator target, one that's technically castable if you get to turn 7. You have Kolaghan's Command as interaction, and you have Deep Cavern Bat as like interaction. Clearly the black-red mid-range space is open enough that I feel like I can wheel at least the Kolaghan's Command or the Deep Cavern Bat. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and take Atraxa here and we have ways to discard besides like Entomb. So I think Atraxa's like high upside enough that I want to take that here. Hey, look, it's Quarter Steelcutter. Probably not for this deck though. Actually, we will be double spelling somewhat, and then this applies more pressure. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. I feel like that might not be what we want to do here. This could be a Smuggler's Copter deck. That's kind of interesting because we have some number of cheap creatures, and then we can just draw and discard. I might as well just take the Emperor Bones, actually. It's sort of like another reanimation spell, but I don't know, it kind of lets us have a threat in addition to that. And you can just bring back their cards too, which is pretty cool. I think we take Emperor Bones here. Okay. So now what? It's a little hard to cast, but I think we're going to go ahead and take Seasoned Pyromancer here. Good old Spyro the Dragon. I think it does everything we want. So yeah, discards cards, draws cards, puts our boys in the yard. I think that's, yeah, no complaints there. Okay, more choices. So we have Overlord of the Baelmerk. We have Knight's Whisper as some card draw. We have Bonecrusher Giant as a good mid-rangey threat. And that's we have those also Phyrexian Metamorph. That's a totally fine card. I think I'm gonna move Carnage Interpreter to the sideboard. So now the question is, do we need more card advantage, or do we? I guess Overlord of the Baelmerk. I guess it's sort of like card advantage that also enables our game plan. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and take that. Okay, now what? So there's Corpse Dance, which is another piece of reanimation. We have an Embereth Shieldbreaker in case we need to deal with artifacts, but we are splashing for this Pest Infestation, which I think I would rather do that. There's fixing in the sense of Wastewood Verge, but I don't like that it only taps for, if you don't meet the requirements, it only taps for green and not black. There's Rampaging Raptor, which I think I might actually take here as just like a generically good alternative win condition. Like, we don't even have to do the big old reanimate a nonsensical 8-drop here. We could just kind of go Magda, Bombardiers, Rampaging Raptor, and that's like a totally fine curve out. Okay, Toxic Deluge I think could be a good sideboard card for sure. We did wheel both Cut Down and Firebolt. I think we will take the Cut Down. And I'm not sure if we will end up playing it, but I think it could be. Obviously, it's a decent removal spell. There's Loot. I think we're a little far away from playing that. Okay, we wheeled Kolaghan's Command and the Deep Cavern Bat. That's excellent. So what are we going to take here? Kolaghan's Command versus Deep Cavern Bat. What does our deck want more of? I think I'm going to take the Deep Cavern Bat. Not sure. Whoa, we wheeled the Quarry Steelcutter. Okay, this is very interesting. This is going to... Oh, okay. Terrace Hunter, actually a good sideboard card. Delayed Blast Fireball. Okay, sideboard card. All right. This is going to be an interesting build. So we don't have to go too hard on the removal, I don't think. We have Lethal Scheme. We have... Cut Down. Can I cut like Chainsaw, or I think I can cut Mind Collapse for sure. Okay, so wow, we need a lot of cuts. We need like 6 cut. I think we want to play 16 lands. 16 lands because and we'll count Troll. Troll is a land. So we need to cut like 7 cards or something. All right, so now the question is, are we going to go for a more aggressive kind of build? Or are we going to go for a like big old reanimate? I think we can maybe have our cake and eat it too. Like if we cut the Torsten, we still have two of the best reanimation targets in the queue, being Atraxa and Griselbrand. Metamorphosis Fanatic and Overlord of the Baelmerk are also like, they fit the space perfectly as like kind of top end of this mid-range deck, but that also do the thing. Pest Infestation I think is worth the splash. So we could, I think we cut Chainsaw. It's just a little small ball for what we're trying to do. Because we have a lot of other, and we can also cut the cut down for like the same reason. Okay, so that brings us to, we need 13, so 3 more cuts. Unearth, I think we don't really, I mean, okay, Unearth is fine with, it's fine with Bombardiers, it's fine with Spyro, but I think our deck's trying to do a little bit bigger and better things than that. Corey Steelcutter is very interesting because we may be able to double spell after a certain point. Curve's a little chunky though. I think cut Mind Collapse. Do we want the Corey Steelcutter? Is this a Corey Steelcutter deck? Maybe the real question is, what isn't a Corey Steelcutter deck? Think of it that way. No, maybe not. Maybe not this one. We're also very light on the red splash too. Or like the number of red cards we're playing are not very high. But I think Raptor and Spyro are good enough. Let's see. Yeah, I think we do cut the cutter. Like it's fine, but again, I feel like we're doing a little bit too much like bigger and better things. We also only have like 9 other non-creature spells, so the Corey Steelcutter gets a little worse. It's good with Skull Clamp, but then again, like Skull Clamp is good with Skull Clamp, you know? And we already have, you know, Pest Infestation, Spyro, Goblin Rabblemaster, Magda, Scrapwork Mutt, Deep Cavern Bat, all of these cards that are like good on their own and also just like broken with Skull Clamp. So yeah, I think that is going to be the deck actually. Yeah, we play 16 lands. I think I do not need a forest because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we definitely do not need a green source other than what we have. And we have good sideboard options too, actually. So we could side in the Mind Collapse if we need to kill like opposing Sheldreds or something. We can side in Chainsaw and Cut Down if we need to kill like cheap creatures like Ocelot Prides and Ajanis and junk like that. Tear Asunder for more, you know, quote unquote big stuff hate, because you can just exile anything, but also you're able to more easily deal with artifacts and enchantments, which we only have we have the Pest Infestation to help with, of course. But of course, if we play an artifact deck, right, we're going to want the Tear Asunder. Toxic Deluge also for a more aggressive deck. So we can actually change this up quite a bit. But I think this current main deck configuration gives us the most edge in game 1 against, you know, a variety of decks. So that was a lot of explanation. Anyway, why is it giving me a plains? Oh, because of Atraxa. So if we do this, that would be, we need 1 more land. So if we do this, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 black sources. That's plenty. And also the troll as well. We can't forget about the troll. And then for red, that gives us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 red sources, 9 if you count the troll. I think having the requisite number of black sources is definitely the most important, but we do have 2 double pipped red cards, and 8 red sources may be just a smidge too low. Oh, I guess it's 9 if you count Troll of Khazad Dûm. I think, yeah, and we're going to want to double spell with like black hips, like a double black and a black card. Yeah, I think we actually will go with this. Maybe it's a little too skewed in the on the black side of things as opposed to the red, but I don't know. This looks very strong. So I'll see you for the matches. All right, we're playing against Draft 10, and we won the die roll, so we will be going first. And our hand, I I think I'm gonna keep it. It's a little slow, obviously, but we have, assuming our opponent's not a super aggressive deck, if we just go turn 3 Seasoned Pyromancer, discard Atraxa, and then maybe we find a reanimation spell, and then we also have Skull Clamp to draw additional cards off of the tokens. So it might be a little crazy, but I think we'll be okay. And then we can always, we can fetch thin the deck on turn 1. Hopefully we draw a 2-drop. I think it'll be fine. Nothing bad ever happened with a hand like this. Also, I probably should have played Skull Clamp turn 1. We're just out here messing everything up today. That's fine. Oh my gosh, turn 1 Mana Vault. You'd hate to see it. Okay, let's go and fetch now. We'll just get our Proving Ground here. And then, well, hopefully nothing else scary happens. Oh my gosh, that is a Manifold Key. Great, so now they get to untap their Mana Vault, which is not very good. Whoa, okay. Well, hopefully we draw our Pest Infestation. Okay, that's not great. We're just gonna go Skull Clamp and then play a tapped Crypt, and then things are not looking very great right now. But my opponent only has 2 cards in hand. They have 3, 4, 5, 7 mana available right now. So that's not too bad. Oh, okay. They're using the Manifold Key to untap the Mox Sapphire. That's interesting. They must have a double blue card that they want to. Whoa. Okay. Turn 2 Jace, the Mind Sculptor, is definitely something. Now they get to sculpt their hand. But hopefully we just get to go Seasoned Pyromancer, Atraxa, and then things are not looking too bad. We get to draw a couple of cards. All right. Hopefully no counter spells or anything like that. Okay, there's a Bitter Triumph as well. I actually think I'm going to kill the Jace, because if we do that, and we can pitch Atraxa to do it, because this Jace is going to give them so much value, and maybe they are relying on that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pick it. It's not mana efficient, obviously, but hopefully they'll not be able to have good enough draws now, and they'll just be all ramp, no pamp. And then on the following turn, we can go land, Spyro, potentially make I'll just go ahead and yield to this turn. Potentially find Reanimate. And if we reanimate Atraxa, that's obviously very, very good. The problem is if opponent has like any bangers, they just get to keep on like chaining them together. Oh, this is a problem. This can be... Forensic Gadgeteer has, I think, some infinite combo potential. I kind of forgot how that works, but that's okay. Okay, we got a Rampaging Raptor. So I could just like play that and slam them. How does this doesn't currently combo with anything they have, but I think, yeah, with Basalt Monolith, this produces infinite mana, so that's a bit of a problem. I think I'm just going to go ahead and slam the Raptor. Actually, that might not be the case of what we want to be doing. I think what we want to do, actually, if we go Spyro, pitch the Raptor, And we can draw 2 cards, and then we can Skull Clamp the 1/1. So these are the 2 options that we have. They only have 1 card in hand. Okay, I think I changed my mind. I think we are going to go for the Raptor beatdown plan so far. And then hopefully they just don't have infinite combo on us next turn. I think that's the hope now. All right, we'll see what the opponent's able to do here. Okay, they're able to untap the Mana Vault during their upkeep, so that way they don't take damage during the draw step. Okay, Chrome Mox, so it's basically a 2 mana draw card, or actually 1 mana draw card, excuse me, with the Forensic Gadgeteer. Not bad. So I bet they're just trying to look for their payoff. Yeah, they just cracked it immediately. They have 5 mana available. We might be okay. All right, they're just going to go ahead and attack because they're not blocking, so they're attacking. I guess that makes sense. And they're passing the turn. Okay. Oh, there's Lily. Yeah, you know what? I think we just do that instead because that takes away the opportunity for them to have infinite combo, and then hopefully they just don't have like a counter spell in the hand. Cool. And then we'll make them sack. All right, perfect. And then we'll go ahead and equip Skull Clamp for extra damage. Go ahead and yield to the turn. And then we'll just hit him for 5. We have him on a 3-turn clock now because we can always pump this. And yeah, things are looking great. So next turn, now we could just start upticking Lily, which is nice. And then Spyro's going to draw us cards, and then we just have to feign some kind of ridiculous bomb card from the opponent. But we did take away their combo piece. They're tapping and untapping the Mana Vault, though, which is a little terrifying. 7 mana. Ugin. Oh boy, that's not great. And they probably have much more ways to... They probably have more cards that they can cast here that are colorless and exile my Liliana. Yeah, they just zeroed to add 3 mana. So bye-bye Liliana. You did well for us. Oh boy, that's a tinker. They tinker into something scary. I mean, they must have like tons and tons of juicy targets that they can pick up here. Coveted Jewel. Oh, we're just completely cooked. So they draw 3 cards and add 3 mana. So, I mean, any spell that, yeah, they're just going to exile my Lily. And this exiles a permanent that's 1 more color. So they can't touch my lands. They can't touch my Skull Clamp. But they can touch my Season Pyromancer. They can touch my Atraxa. Okay, we don't really need the Overgrown Tomb. But I guess I'll play it out. And then we'll go for a Spyro. Draw 2 cards. Unfortunately, we can't like attack them and steal their Coveted Jewel. All right, we need something good here. Oh, there's Exhume. Perfect. They get their Forensic Gadgeteer back, which is a little annoying. But we get an Atraxa, which is notably better. Okay, great. So now Atraxa will find us some goodies. Okay, what do we got? Okay, we've already played a land for turn, but Lethal Scheme is an answer for the Ugin, which I think is going to be very important. Let's see. We have Broadside Bombardiers, which I can use to throw the Atraxa, but the problem is they're just going to like Ugin, cast something and exile Atraxa. So I can't expect Atraxa to be here. Okay, so for instant, I think we have to take the Lethal Scheme. Land, we only have 1 choice. Sorceries, we don't have sorceries. Are these all creatures? These are all creatures. So we only get to draw one more card. So I think we're supposed to take the like what's the most impressive card that we could maybe take here? Probably Broadside Bombardiers. This card's pretty nuts. Yeah, let's just take Broadside Bombardiers. And then unfortunately we cannot activate the Lethal Scheme, but we can Skull Clamp onto the Spyro. Yeah, unfortunately we were 1 mana short of Lethal Scheming the Ugin away. So Broadside Bombardiers also gives us the greatest chance of being able to steal the coveted jewel from them. So there is that. I think we're just going to go ahead and pass through the turn here. It's going to constantly give me priority with a Lethal Scheme, any Convoke spell. So obviously not a great situation. Yeah, that's a Chromatic Star. That's going to exile my Atraxa. That wasn't even like an impressive Atraxa, all things considered. It was basically just like, it drew me Broadside and Lethal Scheme, which, you know, it's fine. Okay, they're going to go ahead and draw, add a mana. They're tapping for something big here. This is pretty bad. They already used Ugin to gain life. I mean, if we can go Lethal Scheme, Broadside, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that is a Kappa Cannoneer. That's definitely scary. But, you know, I'm not currently dead. And it's not a colorless spell, so they couldn't exile my Spyro. Okay, they're just drawing off the clue tokens. Notably, the clue tokens, they don't have to tap to sack and draw. If my opponent finds basically any colorless spell, things are not looking great. There's a Lightning Greaves. Oh, and they can give the Kappa Cannoneer haste. Oh boy. Yeah, so now I'm on a 2-turn clock. Spyglass, sure. Yeah, just keep it up. This thing's humongous. They're basically guaranteeing that they kill me in like 1 turn. Lightning Greaves here. Yeah, this is pretty rough. I think they just attack with the... Okay, they're giving me a chance because they are allowing me to just attack and draw 3 cards. I don't think they realized what was going to happen here. Okay, let's see what we can do. So we'll start with Broadside Bombardiers. We'll go to combat. We'll attack them. Let's see. They cannot block because this has Menace. I think they messed up. I don't think they were supposed to attack the Forensic. So now I get to take their Coveted Jewel and draw 3 cards. Okay. So that's something. I don't think this is good enough, but we'll see. Okay, they're going to take damage. So now what? Now what do we do? Is there anything that we can do? We can gain life. I don't think that's good enough. We have 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Metamorphosis Fanatic doesn't really do it. There's no creatures in the graveyard that I can reanimate. I could Lethal Scheme my own Broadside Bombardier. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I can Broadside Bombardiers and sacrifice the Jeweled Lotus and deal 8 to their face. So that's something. But then we can't really deal the last few points of damage. We could play the Metamorphosis Fanatic. Yeah, it's kind of rough, actually. I think that gives us the only hope of actually winning the game. Alternatively, we could shoot this Kappa Cannoneer for 8, pay the ward, and then are we able to do that and kill the... we cannot kill the Ugin as well. It's actually like surprisingly close. Okay, well, I think we play this land for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I kill the Kappa Cannoneer, they can only attack me for 3 damage next turn. That might be the call here. And unfortunately, we can't also lethal scheme. We're 1 mana short from being able to do both. That would be pretty sweet, though. Yeah, and I can't reanimate this because it costs 6, and it would kill me. I think that's the only way we stay alive. There's no way we can't shoot the Coveted Jewel and then find, like, 4 more points of damage, unfortunately. So, I think that's what we have to do. So we'll add 3 black. We'll shoot... Oh, never mind. This has Shroud. Okay, so all that doesn't matter. Okay, then the only way we win, which is like such a long shot, is we go... we have to shoot them. It's the only way. Shoot them with the Coveted Jewel. And then we use our 3 black. We play out the Metamorphosis Fanatic. But we can't reanimate anything. And then the only way they don't kill... the only way we don't die is if they somehow do not have any artifacts or colorless spells. I think this is impossible, but if they have only lands, that's something to consider. Also, they have Manifold Key to make it so their Kappa Cannoneer can't block. Okay, I've seen enough. That was surprisingly close. Okay, but they're an artifact deck, so obviously we're going to bring in the Terra Sunder, and that's going to help out a lot. And then, yeah, we just have to try to go fast, so that way we can beat their... we can go under them before they cast their Ugin. So yeah, we'll go Terra Sunder, and then I guess we just take out some kind of non-impactful card in the matchup. Probably... Well, Caustic Bronco can kind of dome them for 7 out of nowhere or something. What do I want to take out? What's like small ball? Raptor, it can pressure Ugin, I guess. But if they've done that, they've probably already won the game. Lethal Scheme's a good answer for that. Recurring Nightmare's a little slow compared to what they're doing. I mean, there are definitely some, like, if you go Entomb, Bat, Recurring Nightmare, or whatever, then we can... That's pretty cool. I think Bitter Triumph also deals with the Planeswalker. It could just be like Magda or something. Magda's like fine. Maybe Lily of the Veil is a little small ball. It would be good though if they go all in on the Kappa Cannoneer. It was pretty good that game, all things considered. I just know I want this Terra Sunder though. It's very interesting. What is our worst card? Probably, I guess, Rowelmaster. Maybe Rowelmaster is a little small ball. Maybe we just focus on going a little bit more cheap. I'm not entirely convinced that was the correct decision. Okay, this is a good hand. Turn 1, Cycle Troll. Turn 2, Exhume. Seems good to me. So yeah, we'll just go Swamp Pass. And then there's also Nethergoyf, of course, but I mean, I'd much rather go turn 2 Troll of Khazad Dûm on them. Okay, so they're going to start off with Manifold Key. Not as scary as a turn 1 Mana Vault. Lion's Eye Diamond. That's terrifying. So it is just like a cheap tinker target, all things considered. Let's go ahead and grab Blood Crypt here. Okay, there's a Griselbrand, which we don't have a way to pitch it. So yeah, I think the best thing to do here is we could go Magda and then Recurring Nightmare, but I think having a turn 2 troll is a pretty strong play. Puts a lot of immediate pressure on them, forces them to enact their game plan fast or they just die. I'm essentially putting them on like a roughly 3 turn clock, because next turn we can go like Nethergoyf Magda, and then on the following turn we can, if they kill the troll, we can always Recurring Nightmare it back. And yeah, I think overall we're doing okay. I don't see any busted artifacts yet. Okay, that's a Chromox. Are they going to imprint something? They're not imprinting. Very interesting. I guess they're just trying to go for a fast Kappa Cannoneer. But my troll goes just as fast as their Cannoneer, so I'm not like particularly worried. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and swing at them for 6. We'll play around Daze. I'd rather have the Magda resolve, and then we'll go Nethergoyf. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can't kill them next turn. But, well, actually, if we top deck a Broadside Bombardiers, we can top... Okay, that's what I thought. I figured they were just going for a quick Kappa Cannoneer. This isn't even that bad, though, to be honest, because the Troll Khazad Doom essentially have Super Menace, so they cannot cast it except with... they cannot block it except for 3 or more creatures. So I think we're relatively safe here. Oh, are they not doing that? Maybe they realize that that's not the right play. Well, okay, never mind. It is Kappa Cannoneer, as we expected. Okay. So let's see. I could swing out. That's only like 1 extra point of damage, though, which I'm not a big fan of. I do get a treasure if I do that. I don't think that's worth. I think we'll just get in there with the troll. Okay, they go to 8, and then we can go Recurring Nightmare, and then play this tapped. So hopefully they don't kill me. Also, of note, they can use Manifold Key to untap their Kappa Cannoneer, which, that's something. Okay, here comes a Chromatic Star, so now I'm going to be taking a guaranteed 6 points of damage. I mean, I guess the only thing I really have to worry about here is something like Shadow Spear, because I don't think I can beat Shadow Spear, for sure. Okay, Mana Vault. Sure, they have tons of mana and a large Kappa Cannoneer. Theoretically, they can kill me in 2 swings, but if they attack with Kappa Cannoneer and they don't leave anything back, I kind of just kill them. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern. I think they're just trying to make this like a 2-turn clock here. I think they're just going to draw a card. Okay. Yep, that's what they did. They only have 2 cards in hand. They untapped the Mana Vault. Okay, you love to see that. You love to see it. Okay, they've made my Nethergoyf tiny, so it's not great. Let's go to combat. And then... do I just hit them for 6? They're like forced to block Magda, and then I could technically like bring it back? I don't know if that's a great plan. It's a plan. Like, don't get me wrong. It also gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an option. Like we could like hard cast a Griselbrand. Yeah, because like I guess we're not really doing anything else with our mana here. Like here they just block that, and then I can always get it back. Let's get this back here, sacrifice another Goyf, and then we'll recast, and then we'll play this, and then we'll pass. So they have this turn to kill me. Turn 2 troll. Turn 2 troll strong. All right, let's see if they have anything here. They don't. Okay. Well, they might have an answer for the troll. Okay. Oh, nice. All right, cool. They could not answer the turn 2 troll. All right, anything else we want to do? Not really. I mean, their game plan seems to be revolved around the Kappa Cannoneer. Theoretically, Toxic Deluge is a good answer to that, but I feel like I just like all my other cards a little bit more. Like we're able to, I don't know, we're basically just able to like go faster. And they also don't seem to have Shadow Spear. At least I hope they don't. So yeah, I think we're okay. I think we'll just go ahead and run it back. All right, this hand is bad, and I will mulligan. This hand is, it's better. It's actually not too bad. I think we'll go ahead and keep this one, because we get to do some cute things with like Scrapwork Mutt, Metamorphosis Fanatic, and Recurring Nightmare, and we have a Bitter Triumph to help deal with the big boys. I think this is okay. I think we'll just go ahead and put back Swamp, just in case we want the green for, you know, if we top deck the, all right, they're starting off strong with the Mana Vault. Oh, that's an Entomb, if I ever saw one. Okay, that's pretty cool. So while we can't reanimate this turn, we are able to do it on subsequent turn. So let's see what they do here. Okay, I count 5 mana. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Well, I know what's getting targeted with this Bitter Triumph, that's for sure. So now we just have to hope that they don't play Manifold Key, because then that allows them to continuously use this Mana Vault, which is a big problem. Gosh, they also have Tinker. We have to dodge quite a lot of cards. But obviously, if we can find reanimate or in not Shallow Grave. Oh no, they found a Manifold Key. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so they're gonna have a lot of mana next turn, but at least we get to go ahead and entomb. So we'll entomb for a Atraxa, and then hopefully find an. Okay, we did not find what we were looking for, but I could give them. I don't really want to give them a turn with Jace. I could Bitter Triumph pitch the Metamorphosis Fanatic, but that doesn't then allow us to go turn 3. This is not reanimate, right? I need a creature out. And I could play like the Scrapwork Mutt and pitch the Metamorphosis, but that gives them a whole turn with Jace. I don't think I'm really comfortable doing that necessarily. Plus, this can just bounce stuff. I think I'm just supposed to kill it like immediately, and I believe I am just gonna pay 3 life to kill the Jace. Okay, cool. So that's good. Next turn, I mean, obviously we hopefully draw like Exhume or Reanimate, but we can go Scrapwork Mutt, pitch something, try to draw into an answer. Okay, there's a Rampaging Raptor, which is interesting. I think now I'll go for the Metamorphosis Fanatic play. Or not the Scrapboard Mutt pitch Metamorphosis Fanatic. We'll shock this in case we draw exactly the card Reanimate. So we'll go Scrapwork Mutt, pitch the Metamorphosis Fanatic, Bottomside Bombardiers. That's very strong. So I don't think their deck has counter magic either. So now what we get to do is we get to go Recurring Nightmare, Metamorphosis Fanatic, Atraxa with the Metamorphosis Fanatic with a lifelink counter. And it has double lifelink. That's not how that works, but that would be really cool if that's how it worked. Okay, I really hope they just tap out for a like a Kappa Cannoneer here. I mean, it's not great, but it's a little less scary. That is a Eugene. So, okay, they don't get to exile anything, which is cool. I have the Rampaging Raptor to help pressure. God, this thing goes up to freaking 9, though. That's crazy. I do have other answers for the Ugin. Okay, so that's all they did, though. Okay, there's a Spyro. So how do we do this? I think we're going to start by attacking Ugin. We can also, what happens if we go Broadside Bombardiers, both at Ugin, and then we shoot Scrapwork Mutt at it? That's a total of 2, 4, 8 damage. Oh man, we're just one short. I want to do that, but I think I'm supposed to just go. Yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and attack the Ugin. And then we're going to go Recurring Nightmare. Okay, return Metamorphosis Fanatic, sack the Scrapwork Mutt. Use this to get back the Atraxa. And then we draw, hopefully, a lot of cards. Okay, what do we got? So, okay, this is looking nice. Okay, I think this is really good here. So I'm pretty sure we just go ahead and grab Swamp, Liliana, Pest Infestation, Skull Clamp, Tear Asunder, and then a creature. Caustic Bronco, Grizzlebrand. We don't really want Grizzlebrand, do we? I guess we just get Nethergoyf just to be able to apply more pressure. I think that makes a good amount of sense. Okay, this looks pretty good, so we'll go done. We have all of these wonderful magic cards, and then we will play out our swamp, and then we'll just play out the Nethergoyf just so it's another threat. So, I mean, their deck seems very capable of playing, like, a bunch of colorless spells in a single turn, but I think now we can turn the corner. What are we discarding? I think we're good on, like, cards in the hand. I think I just discarded the Spyro. Like, if they don't go too crazy with the Ugin, we should be able to give them a decent amount of pressure. We've drawn a lot of cards. We have Liliana. We're just short on mana is the problem. We can't, like, do too many things on our turn, but the stuff that we can do is very strong. Okay, they're starting off with a card draw. So that's Tolarian Academy. Not too scary right now, but it could be scary. Okay, Relic of Sauron is, that's a thing. A little bit of a mana rock sort of situation. They also get to use that to draw cards and discard cards. They might just go like colorless, which is really annoying. I might need to use Tear Asunder to kill Ugin. Oh gosh, they do have Shadow Spear. Okay, that's scary. So if they ever find the... Oh man, Tolarian Academy too. This is really horrendous actually. Although they might just be going for the drawing and discarding, so I don't know. Hopefully they're not able to do too much. This is really bad though, obviously. And a Grim Monolith. Wow, they were just able to completely annihilate my board. Okay, but it seems they've kind of run out of stuff to do. Okay, that's not good. I really, really wanted to land there. Man, they can just keep drawing cards. Rampaging Raptor doesn't do too much here. Lily doesn't do too much here. I think I just needed like one more mana and that could have been good. I think I have to kill Ugin and then just they have to like rely off the top of the deck with the Relic of Sauron. And then hopefully on the next turn I can just draw better. I don't know. Okay, so well, Ugin's gone. So that's good. So they're basically playing off the top of the deck. But they have so much mana and they have card advantage with the Relic. But, you know, if we draw a land and we can blow up, say, I don't know, Relic plus, I guess, Shadow Spear, they only have mana and then they're just relying off the top of the deck. Okay, they've played a Lion's Eye Diamond. So they must have a combo with Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, gosh. Well, that's a tinker. That's a tinker. What are they going to play here? Tinker for Retrofitter Foundry. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy, that's terrifying. Yeah, this is really horrendously bad, actually. They can make so many things. It's going to be really hard for me to deal with. But next turn, okay, if we draw land, okay, that's a Reanimate. Reanimate's cool. They just have access to so much mana, like a ridiculous amount of mana. Like how much can they make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 mana. 14 mana. I don't think this game is winnable anymore. But we're going to try. We're going to try, obviously. So we can go Spyro, and I really wish I drew a land there too. 14 mana. Well, how much can they do with 14 mana? Can they like, let's see, they can make, for 2 mana they can do that, 3 to untap, so that's 5. And then they can go 1 tap, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ugh. Man, that's so bad. Yeah, I guess it starts with reanimating the Spyro. I also get to make chump blockers too, which is nice. So yeah, let's go for reanimate on the Spyro. I get to discard some cards. I get to discard. I think I'll go ahead and discard the Overlord of the Baelmerk, and do I really need Skull Clamp? Skull Clamp's not too bad. Rampaging Raptor I think is way too small ball, actually. We might need to get rid of that. Okay, we did draw a land, which is nice. I don't think if I let them untap with the Retrofitter Foundry, I think it's just it's like too little too late. But I really wanted to get a nice big pest infestation, but I think that's just not going to happen. I think we have to be adults and wait, cancel. I'll play around days. We'll go pest infestation. I think we have to just kill the Retrofitter Foundry. Yeah, definitely not a good situation, but I mean, it gives us more chump blockers. So, and this also forces them to do stuff. They just get to make a ridiculous amount of creatures, though. Just really scary stuff, honestly. But, you know, they have this whole turn to do things, right? if they don't find like a Kappa Cannoneer, this might be okay. If they find Kappa Cannoneer, sure, we basically lose. Because then the Lily becomes less relevant because they're making so many bodies. Oh gosh, I forgot. They make the first couple and then they add even more mana with the Tolarian Academy. Yikes. Okay, how much can they do here? Maybe they can't do quite as much as I think they can. Okay, they're just going to make a flyer. They're going to untap. Okay, maybe, I guess it's not quite as bad as I thought. It's bad, don't get me wrong, but I think we'll be okay. So I'm pretty sure they're just going to make a... They can either make a 4-4 or they can make another 1-1. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so we'll kill that. We'll make 2 bodies. The problem, they just have so much. At least I have lots of card draw. Let's go ahead and get Bayou. Or I want a mountain. I'll just get Bayou. And then we'll play out the Skull Clamp and pass. So, yeah, I mean, if we get to untap, things are looking fairly decent. The problem is they have just so much mana, like essentially infinite, right, compared to what we're doing. So we just are not able to do as much stuff as they are. But the stuff we can do is very powerful. But the problem is they also have the card advantage with the Relic of Sauron. That's where things get tricky. Like, we also have card advantage too. We have Skull Clamp and all these little duders, but I mean, who cares? It doesn't matter if we don't have the mana to do all the fun things. Okay, that's a Forensic Gadgeteer. Do they have an infinite combo? Oh, they do. They have the Relic. So that's not actually an infinite combo, I don't think. Yeah, this only makes them cost 1 less to activate. Yeah, so okay, so this is not infinite. Not infinite mana. I think they're realizing this. I don't know. Candelabra. Oh my goodness. Okay, now they can... Yeah, they get to make a clue, untap their Tolarian Academy. That's pretty bad. There's a Lightning Greaves. Okay, but they don't have any more cards. They get to draw 2 more cards, though, with the clues. Yeah, they untap the Tolarian Academy, obviously. Okay, just a casual 18 mana. Not a problem. I don't know what the problem is. Soul Guide Lantern, more card draw. They're just digging through the deck. Oh, they get to exile my graveyard too. Okay, that makes sense, taking the Overlord. Yeah, this is where things start to get a little dicey. I think they're pretty much just digging for Kappa Cannoneer. If they can't find it, we might be okay? Question mark? If we could just make it to our turn, it's not... Oh god, it's a Ponder. That's so bad. Oh gosh, they've gone through so much of their deck. Okay, I believe they declined to... Oh boy, that is a Nettle. Yeah, that's a game loss. All right, how big is it? 13-13. Can I just shove everything in front of it? Oh, they put on the flyer. Yep, nope, that's the game. Wow, dang. Opponent's deck was sick. All right, on to the next. All right, we're playing against CJ Swoosh 23, and we won the die roll. So, yeah, I'll go first. All right, there's no. Okay, Lutri as a companion tells me literally nothing. I'll go ahead and keep this. It's lacking reanimation, but it has Caustic Bronco for card advantage. It has Bitter Triumph for interaction, Pest Infestation for artifact enchantment hate, and then of course we just have the complete nonsensical high roll of drawing Reanimate or Exhume off the top of the deck. Okay, that is a fast bond, so that could lead to that could definitely be some sort of like crazy combos or whatever. I'm just gonna go ahead and yield to the end step here. Okay, couple lands, nothing crazy. So we'll go ahead and entomb. We'll grab Atraxa, and then Recurring Nightmare. Okay, that's not bad. So we'll just go ahead and shock in the Stomping Ground, play out the Caustic Bronco, and then next turn we could either Pest Infestation the fast bond if it becomes a problem, or we could just attack Recurring Nightmare the Atraxa. My opponent just played a Channel, which is a little obviously terrifying. Alright, let's see which Eldrazi they cast. I mean, is it just Emrakul? If it's Emrakul, like, we theoretically can come back from that. Oh boy. Well, it is Emrakul. Okay. No, that's fine. Oh wait, never mind. This isn't. Yeah, stop. Never. Blah 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 blah. We lose. Moving on. Okay. So sometimes you just get turn 2 Emrakuled. Not a big deal. Everything's fine. So how do we beat that? I don't really know. We're just gonna go back. I mean, look. Sometimes you get turn 2 Emrakul. That's this format. If you don't go in expecting some kind of BS like that, I don't know. What are you even doing? Why are you even playing this? I think it's kind of wild that they have this as one of the formats for the Mox Championship. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, we're going first on our second game, and we're gonna not get turn 2 Emrakul. Okay, so it's not the best, but I think I'm gonna go and keep. It has very high upside. If we can go, turn 2 Overlord of the Baelmerk, and then reanimate something on turn 3, could be good. Okay, so that is a turn 1 Delighted Halfling. A little scary. Let's go ahead and impend our little friend here. And then we hit the... okay, wow, we hit a lot of stuff. So yeah, we'll use the ability. I'll just go ahead and get back the... Rabblemaster, I think? Well, because I want to go... Actually, maybe I'm supposed to get the Rampaging Raptor. Yeah, I think I'm going to get Rampaging Raptor here. Because then next turn I want to reanimate the Nethergoyf. Or sorry. I want to reanimate the Troll. And then on the following turn, we could go that plus Rampaging Raptor. And then on the turn after that, go Broadside Bombardiers and fling it at their face. Okay. Noble Hierarch and Delighted Halfling. Okay, the fact that they're attacking is probably a good sign. Oh, there's a Recurring Nightmare. That's cool too, actually. I still think it's going to be better on average to go reanimate the Troll. And then unfortunately I'm not able to do much else. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. And then we can essentially deal like 14 damage out of nowhere now with the Broadside Bombardiers and the Troll of Khazad Dûm combo. So we're not looking at a kill next turn, but we're looking at a kill the following turn. So yeah, we'll just have to kind of see what happens here. Okay, they're just going to pass, which is nice. All right, let's see if they have maybe some sort of counter magic. All right, let's just go ahead and go for the Rampaging Raptor here. See if they have some sort of counter magic or something. I don't see anything. Let's see if they allow me to hit them for 10. Okay. Paying costs. 5 mana. Occult Epiphany. Okay, so they get to make some blockers. Discard some cards. Sure. But they have to, like, in order to make 4 spirits, they would have to discard 4 different card types. So, yeah, it's not necessarily over, right? Let's see what happens. They have to be very careful about what they discard. Okay, I think I what did they discard? They discarded Boseiju Who Endures, Portal of Phyrexia, Emrakul, and Island, but then the Emrakul shuffled everything back into the deck. So that was interesting. Okay, they just took 10. Also interesting. So we're looking at a kill next turn, assuming they can't do anything here. Let's see. They have 6 mana available. Whoa, God, they took my troll. Oh no. Okay, that's looking not great. Lethal Scheme. Okay, I could do that. I could Lethal Scheme the troll. Alternatively, if I go Broadside Bombardiers, I can only deal 8 to their face. Because they would obviously block. I could shoot the troll. No, I think I'm just supposed to use this as a horribly inefficient removal. But I mean, it gets the job done, and then just smack them for 4. Then next turn, guaranteed kill. They can only deal 4 damage to me. They also need to hold just enough stuff back, right? So that way I don't kill them off of the pump. Technically, they only need to leave 1 thing behind. Yeah, because here, even if they... Well, technically, if they swing out with all 4, they can hold back the Noble Hierarch. Even if I draw a land, I can only pump this once. So then I would be dealing only... pumping this once only deals 5 damage. So, I don't know. I also don't know what's in their hand. They may be incentivized to just try to kill me over the span of 2 turns, because I, at least currently, cannot. But little do they know. This thing's coming for them. Okay. All right, Pest Infestation. All right, well, I believe we just go for it. So let's go for the Broadside Bombardiers, and then we attack. Okay. This is lethal. Cool. So we did not get turn 2 Emrakul there. Instead, we, like turn 6, normal killed them. Very exciting. So let's see. Now that I've seen more of their deck, Cut Down comes in, Chainsaw I think comes in, and Toxic Deluge probably comes in. We could take out Rabblemaster. We could take out, like, theoretically Liliana is an answer to Emrakul, except they've already eliminated our entire board, so that probably comes out. And then we could take out the... Let's see, what do we want? What do we not want, rather? Tomb is good. Exhume's... Those are all good cards, obviously. Lethal Scheme was, like, not great. Well, I mean, it got the job done. Do I need Pessimization? They didn't really present many... Yeah, I think that's okay. I think we can go ahead and get rid of that. And then we can just go ahead and cut this overgrown tomb for a swamp. And then Bayou's fine because it's free. And then this is a cycle land. Oh, we can cut the stomping ground for a mountain as well, because we don't need green anymore. And then, yeah, looks fine. All right, so we're on the draw for game 3, but, you know, we know what they're doing. Well, there's Reanimate and Exhume, which are great, but not when you don't have a way to put the boys in the yard. So we're going to pass. This has the boys, no way to get them in the yard. I think it's actually not terrible. I think we'll go ahead and keep. What do we put back? Oh wait, we have the boys and the way to put them in the yard. We just need like the reanimators. So, gosh, it could be the Overlord? Because, like, theoretically, we just go turn 2 Bronco. Or we can go, like, turn 2 Scrapwork Mutt, discard Grizzlebrand. Maybe it is Overlord, actually. Because we have, like, a general game plan of what else we're doing. That might have been a mistake. Maybe it should have been Bronco, but I don't know. We could also get, like, technically, there's a world in which we get turn 1 Emrakul, and then they could just put me out of my suffering. Okay, cool. They did not do that. So we'll go ahead and play out Swamp and pass. Unfortunately, we did not draw like an Entomb. That would have been cool. Okay, Delighted Halfling. If we draw a Mountain, that'd be cool. Because then I could just Chainsaw instead. I think that would be better. Ooh, Atraxa. Alright, well, let's put that in the bin instead. Atraxa, draw into a Broadside Bombardiers. Not what we were looking for. In fact, that was probably one of the worst draws we could have possibly had in this particular situation. But if we draw any land, we're okay. Okay, we really need to draw an untapped land right now to have any kind of chance. Oh, nice. Ooh, wait a minute. That's kind of nice too. We can go Broadside Bombardiers, attack, shoot down the Ulvenwald Oddity. Alternatively, we could just pay 4 life and Toxic Deluge. That's probably a little bit safer, because then it also gets rid of their Delighted Halfling. Yeah, I think that's going to be the move. So we're gonna hit them for 2 because we can. And then we're going to Toxic Deluge, pay 4 life, kill the board. Okay, cool. So now hopefully they don't just, like, I don't know, Emrakul me. That would be sad. I would not like that. Okay, it does not appear that we are getting Emrakul'd right now. Maybe. They have a lot of mana, though. Oh, that's an Uro. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And then this Restless Beanstalk or Vinestalk or whatever becomes a 5/5. So you can just do that every turn for like 3 turns. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got some problems. Oh, snap. Let's go. Let's go reanimate the Atraxa. Yay. And then we're gonna find stuff to do. Okay, so we can get... Okay, artifacts easy, so Skull Clamp. And then for land, I guess we just get... We don't really need all the red necessarily, and we're also a little low on life, so I think I'd rather just like get a swamp here. Get a swamp, and then we'll get Cut Down and Magda? We don't really need Spyro. Yeah, I think we just get Magda. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so we get to go land, and then we get to go Magda, hold up the Cut Down, I think. Because basically our goal now is don't die. I think it's a good goal. And then next turn they're dead because not quite dead. Almost dead though. Like pretty much dead. Because we get to go broadside bombardiers attack the Atraxa, smacks them for 7, and then we throw it at their face for an additional 9, so that's 16 damage, plus the broadside, plus the Magda. That would put them to 1. It's not a great plan, but it's like a plan. Okay. Okay, so they do nothing. That's nice. Okay, there's another Goyf. So let's see. I think we just do that. We'll just go broadside bombardiers. Yeah, so it's not death yet, so they shouldn't be too worried. But I will just go ahead and swing out here. I make a treasure, which is relevant. And then, I think they just go ahead and animate up the Restless Vinestock, which is fine. So yeah, they can totally do that. All right, let's make sure this resolves, because I think I want to just go ahead and chainsaw the Restless Vinestock. Perfect. And then put the rev counter, and then I could throw the Atraxa at their face now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could put them down to 3. Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, let's do that. Throw the Atraxa at their face. Okay. And then, I don't know, they're looking at like certain death next turn. Nice. Perfect. See, sometimes you get turn 2 Emrakul, but then you just go ahead and win anyway. Anyway, I'll see you in the final game. All right, we're playing against Fritzy Boy, and we won the die roll, so he'll go first. And the hand it's fine. I'll keep. Solid. Reasonable. Nothing crazy. This just looks like a normal, like, Jund mid-range hand, I guess. Turn 1, Scrapwork Mutt, pitch a land. Or, sorry, not turn 1. Turn 2, Scrapwork Mutt, pitch a land. Turn 3, I don't know, we could either go Broadside Bombardiers or Spyro to draw more cards. So, nothing broken, nothing crazy, but, like, completely reasonable hand. Okay, so I think we'll just go ahead and start with a tapped Stomping Ground, or tapped Blood Crypt to start. And then we'll see what the opponent does. Montana into Kellen. Okay, well, at least we get to put a blocker up in front of that. This thing could become a problem, but I don't know. You have to spend quite a lot of mana to do that, so I'm not like particularly worried. Okay, let's go ahead and go for the Swamp, and then we'll go ahead and go Scrapwork Mutt, pitch Mountain, draw a card. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're just doing mid-range stuff. I don't know. We have 4 options next turn. I think only 3 real ones. So depends what happens here. They're playing a Chromox pitching. Okay, so they're also like a black-red deck, I guess. Interesting that they're pitching the Troll and not using it to get a land. But maybe they just want that mana acceleration. What could this be? Oh, they also have a Broadside Bombardiers. Okay. I think they're going to just shoot my Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Okay, that's a little bit of an issue. So theoretically, I can get like punted for tons of damage next turn. I guess we could go Spyro. Well, we're probably shocking this in. Lily doesn't deal with their board. I think we're going to go Spyro, pitch Lily, pitch... Oh, wait. I didn't tap correctly. Red. Yeah, we'll go Spyro, pitch Lily for sure, and then... Yeah, I guess the recurring Nightmare is kind of cool, actually, but Skull Clamp is just like a cheaper way to get card advantage. Okay, there's Exhume. Exhume's not bad. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I really want to kill that Broadside Bombardiers, but might be tricky. If one of my tokens survives, I could broadside bombardiers their broadside bombardiers by just sacking a token. So that's an option. They also only have 2 lands, and they pitched a card in order to enable their turn 2 broadside bombardiers. So maybe they don't have anything. Okay, Dark Confidant, that's fine. Caracas, they can bounce the Kell into the hand. That's not too bad. They're just gonna pass. You love to see it, actually. So yeah, I think that's still gonna be the play. So yeah, let's go for a broadside bombardiers, and then we can attack with it, and I guess I can leave Spyro back. Yeah, I guess we just attack with this, and then we kill this with a token. Okay, I think that was pretty solid. And now what they could do is they could double block and then bounce Kellen and still kill my broadside. Yep, looks like that's what they're going to do here. I think that's fine. Or they could just not do that. They could not do the obvious line with their Caracas. Oh my goodness. People just don't read their cards. I don't know what to say, man. Like, sometimes, look, they're even like, oh, I bet they're thinking about Gut. They're thinking about bouncing their Gut. Like, oh, Gut's so strong. But, Kellen's also a legendary creature, too. But anyway, it's fine. I actually think what I might do next turn is I go Exhume. Ooh, Atraxa. Oh, I don't have ways to pitch cards. That would really help. We're in an interesting spot. I think I think the first thing I do is draw cards. That seems like the most obvious thing. Oh, I'm also kind of stupid. I could have just scrapworked Mutt, but I mean, anyway, let's draw cards. Draw 2. Pest Infestation, okay. And then I guess we'll go for Scrapwork Mutt. Or I could just go for a Bronco. Let's go for Bronco. And then we'll just pass the turn. The problem, too, is the Caracas can just bounce my Atraxa to hand, which is a bit of a problem. They just concede. What? They have like... Oh, they're... they're doing the thing where they draw a lot of cards in desperation. Like, is that really going to help you with your... Whatever. Moving on. Because they're just like a mid-rangey deck. Cut Down is good for their broadside bombardiers. Chainsaw is also good for that reason. Toxic Deluge. Yeah, I guess we could just do like the same thing we did last time. So we take out this. We could take out the Rabble Master. We could take out the Lethal Schemes a little. Lethal Scheme didn't really do too much here. And then I guess the Liliana of the Veil, especially on the draw. Yeah, I think we just do the same sideboard plan as we did last time. Similar concepts. Okay, so this hand is not great. It doesn't have a way to put the boys in the yard, so I think we're going to go ahead and mulligan this. This hand looks a lot better, so we'll go ahead and put back... I really don't want to put back anything is the problem. Like, these are all really strong because like Deep Cavern Bat is good. Skull Clamp really good. I mean, okay, theoretically, we're going to try to go a lot bigger. Yeah, actually, we'll get rid of Scrapwork Mutt because we have Overlord, which is arguably a better way to get things into the graveyard. Higher chance will high roll. And then we can go turn 1 Skull Clamp, turn 2 Deep Cavern Bat. turn 3 like Overlord plus reanimate something, I think is going to be my the general way I'll think about doing the play patterns. We'll see. I don't know. Anything's possible. Okay, turn 1 Blackleaf Cliffs. That's fine. Oh, there's an Atraxa. Well, now obviously I wish I had the Scrapwork Mutt instead, but you know, we didn't know we were going to draw one of our bombs off the top. But no worries. I think we'll be okay. Okay, they're going to cycle Troll, so notably that will make Exhume not a great top deck, but I mean, I don't know. We have Reanimate, so we're fine. Okay, they got Badlands and they played Badlands. Do they have Exhume? That would be not great for me. Okay, they do nothing. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and play Blackleaf Cliffs. Let's get like a removal spell out of their hand and get information. Information is good. Whoa. Well, their hand is... It's strong, that's for sure. What do I want to take? Broadside Bombardiers is not that great currently by itself, but it can easily become really strong. They have like good mana, and they'll get to play a 5-drop on turn 4, which is also not great. Man, these are all really good cards. I guess we take Broadside Bombardiers because I can't stop both of their things, and it gives us hopefully a little bit more time that we can use to like Overlord reanimate something, or maybe we draw something that allows us to discard our Atraxa. I think that's going to be the move. And then, yeah, as soon as opponent wants to pass over to their turn, then we'll be okay here. All right. So I imagine they're going to go Plains here. Yeah. Oh, they drew something. Drew something castable. No? Oh, Robber the Rich. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm taking that. All right, time to high roll. Bronco. Bronco's also kind of interesting, but I don't know, man. We're gonna get Glorybringer and Eltharied, so I don't like that very much. Let's just try to high roll with an Overlord. Okay, I mean, I know their hand exactly, so... Okay, I got Broadside Bombardiers, which is cool, I guess. Do I want to reanimate that? Not really. I guess... Let me think. They go Glorybringer, and then we can... If I attack with both, they go Glorybringer and kill... I don't know. I guess they have to make a choice between Deep Cavern Bat and Broadside Bombardiers. And then if they kill Broadside Bombardiers... Nah, I don't think it's worth it to do these things. I mean, I could also get their Troll. I guess I didn't think about that. But... I'm not sure. Troll's fine. I guess Troll's okay. Yeah, let's get Troll. And then we can smack him for 1 and gain a life back. Problem is I go to 12. Elthari's gonna come down, I would imagine, and just start hitting me for a lot. But then I have the Broadside Bombardiers to deal with it. So yeah, you know what? Actually, I feel like we're okay. All right, let's go Deep Cavern Bat. So also notably, the Glorybringer cannot kill Troll. Okay, Glorybringer is in fact coming down. They're gonna they're gonna exert that, so they have the broadside in hand, so that's fine. So now what? Broadside can swing at me this, so they can have lethal on me next turn, theoretically. I can also deal 8 plus 8 to them, so that's 16. That's not good enough. If I go Skull Clamp, kill Robber, or sorry, if I go broadside Bombardiers, swing at them for 8, and then use Skull Clamp to kill the Robber of the Rich, that would mean they go to 11. Then they are not able to kill me on their turn with either Othari or the broadside Bombardiers, and they can't do both. I know they have a mountain. They have Mountain, Othari, broadside Bombardiers, and an unknown. So then they would have to use broadside Bombardiers to kill my broadside Bombardiers, unless they're somehow able to kill me. I think I like that. And then they go to 8. We have to deal. We're then going to have to deal with the Glorybringer, but that gives us another turn to draw an answer. So I think this is just the move. We do this. Yeah, super unfortunate that we cannot kill them. They're just a little too high in life points, but we're just going to do this. Okay. And then the Glorybringer doesn't untap, of course. And yeah, if they go for, I think they have to go broadside Bombardiers, kill my broadside Bombardiers. I'm pretty sure that's the only out. Because if they go Othari and attack, the 2/2 enters tapped and attacking. They'd have to tap out for that. And I'm just going to assume they don't have like a 1-drop they can play. Or like, if they drew a lightning bolt, then obviously like that's pretty gas. And they probably win. But if not, they would play Othari, hit me for 5, go up to 14, and then just kill them. Yeah, I think this is the only way that they don't die. And this is great for me, right? Because then I get to chainsaw them, or I get to chainsaw their broadside Bombardiers, which is nice. Wait, what? Am I stupid? 9. Oh, I'm just stupid. Everything that I said for like the past 5 minutes was stupid. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back. So I guess the only out there was to kill the Glorybringer. Because, yeah, I kind of forgot that it's mana value +2. Like, I applied that when I was doing it. Like, I can only deal 8 damage with their, Troll of Khazad Dûm. But then, for some reason, I thought them flinging Glorybringer at me was only 5 damage. So, yeah, that was obviously not great. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and submit the deck back and do better. Gosh, Broadside Bombardiers is a messed up Magic card. Okay, this looks fine. I'm gonna keep this. Yeah, it's got Troll Exhume, and as long as they don't also troll, then we should be okay. Of course, that's a very relevant thing and a little worrisome, but again, we've seen the power of turn 2 Troll and what it can do to people. Their deck's pretty aggressive, though, so I don't know. Anything's possible. I think with the Troll, we can go ahead and grab Overgrown Tomb, I guess. So we'll wait. If they go turn 1 Troll, that's kind of bad. Okay, they don't do anything interesting. I feel like they have Troll. Okay, let's go. Oh, I guess we'll grab Bayou then. So we'll grab Bayou, Deep Cavern Bat. That might be the move instead. If they don't have troll, this is completely absurd, though. I think the upside's too high. Nice. Okay, they didn't have troll. Excellent. So now, if my troll lives, we're looking good. If they kill it, I could probably just recurring nightmare it back eventually. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, 3 mana, Barrogoyf. Ooh, it'd be a shame if something were to happen to your Barrogoyf. Go to power and toughness and cards, all graveyards. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll go Barrow, kill that. Deep Cavern Bat. Let's see what they got. Another hand. Okay, they have Gut, Giver, Swords. I think we got to get rid of Swords. Because it's the only way they can deal with this troll. And then nothing else in their hand matters. So yeah, we just keep smacking them with the troll until morale improves. And then, okay, they play the arena. What are they even doing? Okay, Dark Confidant. Sure. Yes, make your demise faster. I like that for you. Toxic Deluge. That's sure, whatever. Let's just keep hitting them. They go to 7, and then I guess I'll just play out the recurring nightmare, but I don't have any targets. They lose nothing, unfortunate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just dead. They need to be able to kill one of my creatures at least. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, we can always recurring nightmare something back. Okay, Broadside Bombardiers. That's an out, technically. And then also they have the swords for the Bleachbone Verge. Or they have the swords available with the Bleachbone Verge. So that's definitely something. Okay, so they're going to do that, obviously. I did not draw a land, which is a little unfortunate, but we can go... Okay, well, we attack, for sure. And then I think we're supposed to Toxic Deluge. Let's see, they have Gut, Glorybringer. They've already played Swamp, Giver of Runes, and then they have the Swords, the Plowshares in hand. I could Deep Cavern Bat by sacking the troll, but that doesn't seem very good. Oh, what I could do... Hold on. What I could do is this. I could go Toxic Deluge, pay 2, kill off that. Now I could go Deep Cavern Bat and just guarantee that, you know, guarantee my victory. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. And then I just, yeah, I know their hand. I just take swords. And now they need to draw an answer, or I just peck them to death with the Deep Cavern Bat. Good job, Deep Cavern Bat. You're going to murder them. I think that's it. Are we murdering them by sacrificing our troll for a Deep Cavern Bat? Oh man, that's pretty good. They're complaining to their Discord chat. Okay, they got something. Detective's Phoenix. Man, alright. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, we didn't draw an answer either. Yeah, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, alright. That's definitely annoying. So, I still know their hand exactly, right? They have a Giver of Runes, Glorybringer. Yeah, so this is their hand exactly. Gut, Glorybringer, Giver. So if they rip a mountain off the top, things actually get bad. I think I'm supposed to play out the Bronco. Yeah, let's go Bronco here. And then unfortunately we can't attack because if we don't draw, like say worst case scenario, we don't draw a land. What we can do is play the Magda, saddle up the Caustic Bronco, and then if I hit literally any non-land off the deck, I win. So that's something. Obviously, if we rip a mountain off the top, we can just basically win anyway. They're probably going to play a Giver of Runes, if I had to guess. They can just play like Giver of Runes Gut. Those are pretty good. Okay, Concealing Curtains. Sure. That's fine. Actually, I guess they take... What do they take here? They take Magda? If they take Magda, okay. Drew a swamp, not a mountain. Come on, just need... Okay, reanimate. Oh, yep. We just reanimate Broadside Bombardiers. Perfect. And that's the game. We did it. Yeah, take Broadside Bombardiers. Go to combat. Swing. And... Doesn't matter. Shoot this at them. That's the game. All right, very nice. Got the honorable 2-1. And we'll take one more look at the deck. So... yeah, obviously I would have liked to have gotten the trophy, but overall this deck was pretty fun. It had a lot of cool interactions with either doing like a kind of aggressive / mid-rangey just black-red deck versus you can high roll and get like a turn 3 Atraxa, and we did that a couple of times. We never got to high roll with the Metamorphosis Fanatic, but that's okay. We did get to do a couple loop-de-loops with that. And Lethal Scheme, I think, was a little disappointing, but kind of just showed up at some awkward times. But yeah, overall, I think the deck was solid and overall had a pretty good performance. So thanks for watching. See you for the next.